mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can make an amazing impact and income and positively affect their communities worldwide. Ensure that you are sharing this show, you're subscribing, and you also are leaving us a review so we can create more amazing content around those areas to help you level up to the next level and also bring amazing guest experts that can share their knowledge and expertise with you so that you can create amazing legacy. All right, Legacy Builders, welcome back to another show with another amazing guest and conversation, another expert talking about, today we're going to be talking about such a timely, relevant topic, I believe, as we're heading towards the end of 2023 and starting 2024 with new goals and also with our numbers and our books in order, hopefully, as we're growing businesses and have so much happening with our profits and the things that we have going on. It's important to understand how is it that we can actually reduce our tax liabilities. So this is going to be a very informative and inspiring conversation, I'm so sure. And I have the amazing expert joining me today, Mark Myers, all the way from, Mark, where are you connecting from today?
North Florida, actually a little town called Chiefland, Florida, just west of Gainesville.
Very cool. So there we go, from Florida to New York. And so Mark, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing your time, area of expertise with us here today. I usually start off my guests, Mark, to learn a little bit more regarding their bigger why, or why they do the work they're doing. If you could share some of the most meaningful moments that led you to this work that you're doing in the world today.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. I think I've always wanted to be of service. A service provider is, providing valuable service is just fulfilling, when you really help others accelerate and do well. So that has been a big impetus for me to get in this space. It's interesting because I went to school for exercise physiology. I got my master's in sports management. I used to run high-end health clubs in New York City and Los Angeles. And a lot of people ask me, well, how in the world are you now doing advanced tax strategy? And, 15 years ago, I really realized that, running a business was a niche, a knack that I had, and I was running someone else's business. So essentially I decided to run my own business, and I went into consulting for business owners. And that has just evolved over the last 15 years into what I'm doing now, which is really helping people reduce their tax without changing their CPA, and also without having to, take on any new investment advice. I'm not here to give them any investment advice, really just show them different ways that they can reduce their tax utilizing the 75,000 pages of tax code. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
Well, thank God there's people that want to do it and they have figured out that that's one of their gifts, right? Because I always say nothing wrong with exploring and testing. I always share that if I didn't go the route of entrepreneurship, I never would have figured out that I love this, right? So trying and testing, that's what life is always about. And we always carry all our experience. And I never think that anything is ever wasted. We just build on, or we just add to the different perspective we have based on our life journeys, personal and professional, for sure. So Mark, absolutely. So tax liability, where should we start? Can you maybe define that for us a little bit so that the audience can kind of get some context around, your take on tax liability?
Absolutely. Such a great question. And I think that most people look at tax liability with the wrong lens. And a lot of people look at tax liability as just a necessary expense that they have no control over. Where reality is, they should look at it, particularly if you're a business owner, you should look at it as a profit center. How can it be a profit center because you can significantly reduce the expense? And a lot of times people look at all the other areas of their business that they feel like I have control over this area of my business. But they don't look at the tax situation as a controllable area. It certainly is. So look at your taxes, profit center, and then of course, now you're looking at, if you're a business owner, we have above the line planning, and we also have below the line planning. And interestingly enough, we can actually reduce taxes on W-2 earners. So if individuals have enough W-2 income, there are some solutions that they can integrate to reduce that as well. And most people think they have no chance of reducing their W-2 income tax.
Wow, I love your take on that. It's a profit center. I love that way you kind of brought that to us, and also the fact that this can actually be controllable. So let's start with some of the things we could do to control it.
Absolutely. Well, deductions and depreciation are your friend, right? Expenses, deductions, depreciation are your friend generally when you're trying to reduce your tax liability. So let's go about this in a business owner mindset. Well, it was told to me a long, long time ago, and it resonated well from a tax professional that I worked with, that why would you spend $1 to save 37 cents if you're in Florida, right? 45 cents if you're in New York, because you got the state tax on top of it. So why are you spending $1 to save 45 cents, which is what a lot of business owners do, particularly towards the end of the year? What can I buy? What expenses can I have? Because I need to reduce the income from the company and my personal income. Well, the question is, do they really need what they bought? A lot of times maybe they do, but a lot of times maybe they don't. So my focus is, let's look at expenses that actually you profit from. Well, how is that possible? Well, for example, if you can actually purchase an asset and you can donate that asset, but you can purchase the asset at a significant discount to its current fair market value, now you have an interesting arbitrage opportunity, because if you can purchase a $3 or $4 deduction for $1, you're actually going to profit from the charitable contributions. So that's just one little coupon that I talk about, and that's good for anyone, even W-2. But I'll give you another little mindset would be, a lot of business owners may have even heard that they can use their home for business purposes or for some efficiencies, and they might use it as a home office. But they don't realize that they can actually rent their home to their business if it's the right structured business, and the income they receive from their business for the rental of their home, say board of director meeting or fiscal policy meeting or HR meeting, is not taxable to them personally. So my clients that are in New York or LA or larger metropolis cities, we can generally justify anywhere between $25,000 and $50,000 per year of expense for the business, but tax-free income for the owner of the business, because the business is choosing to rent their home for board of director meetings, fiscal policy meetings, HR meetings. So these are the ways that you need to think about finding expenses and deductions that are actually profitable for you, as opposed to spending $1 to save 45 cents.
That's so interesting. And I could see how that could be something that we can implement right away as soon as we file these 2024 or 2023 year-end taxes, because a lot of us are utilizing home spaces to run our businesses. So I love that you shared that. And that's a great key takeaway that we can maybe just even become aware, around, and kind of keep it top of mind as we are going to navigate this journey very soon as well. So I love that. There's so much to learn. I'm like a student in this area for sure. So thank you so much for sharing what you just did, Mark, with us. And based on your day-to-day work, how is it that you are actually working with your clients? Do you offer private consulting around their taxes? Like, how specifically, what's your framework? How do you work with them?
No, great. Thank you for asking that question. I love it, because it's really kind of I can kind of share the process, which is really simple. I have a consultation with a prospective client or a customer, and the only prerequisite is that they do not like paying taxes and they feel like they're paying a lot. If they're in pain when they're writing that tax check and they're like, this is a lot, this is too much. And everybody has a different feel. Like some people, a lot is a little bit less than other people's a lot. But all I need is a 15 to 20 minute conversation. It literally is a very relaxing, it's not, they have to be prepared. 15 to 20 minute conversation. And based off of a little bit of Q&A and me getting a little fact pattern, understanding the facts, I can generally let them know in that 20-minute consultation that's complimentary, how many coupons, I call them coupons, how many coupons that they're not clipping, that they could be clipping. And unfortunately, the IRS doesn't send out a flyer every week that says, here's your monthly coupons. but there's 75,000 pages of them. So usually I can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6, or 7 coupons within a 15 to 20-minute conversation. And from that point forward, the question is, how do we want to go about learning about these coupons, and how do we want to go about implementing them as a next phase? And that's all generally it's a little consulting, but ultimately once the consulting done, it's just getting to work and putting these things in place, and they're evergreen. So that point forward, they're just paying a lot less tax because they have these additional layers of efficiency on top of what they're already doing. And again, I'm not coming in to replace their CPA or tell them they should invest in some type of investment that gives them a tax savings like oil and gas. Not that there's anything wrong with oil and gas, but I always like, because some people have these preconceived notions of what I'm going to talk to them about. Now I say, just wipe those away. If you think you're paying too much tax, or you'd like to pay less tax, let's just have a conversation about it. I can, within 15 to 20 minutes, I can let you know where you stand.
No, I mean, you're absolutely complimentary, sounds like, and it seems like your process is so personalized, right? Because obviously you know your stuff. It's just like, even when I meet, my ideal clients in business, to me, it's very easy to kind of problem solve for them on the other side in 20, 30 minutes. But for your client, it's overwhelming, right? Because they don't know, they're not even problem aware, solution aware yet. So I love a good process, which absolutely always gives people a predictable income and transformation. So Mark, we've actually reached the end of the interview. And of course, we can go into this topic so much deeper, and there's so much to learn. I'm sure it's like its own masterclass. I probably will have you back, and we can maybe dive into some of the more educational pieces that I think we need, as I have an audience of seasoned entrepreneurs and CEOs, and they're always, looking to get educated in this area because it's such an important area in the alignment of their profit as well, right? So I think that's definitely something that we will do eventually. But my next question for you is, any other implementable quick wins or tips that you can leave our audience with? Just like you mentioned, the home space, kind of making that maybe part of your business expense as well. Is there anything else that you can give away that you find would be helpful for someone that's just listening and wants to implement some stuff right away?
Absolutely. I'll give you 3 quick ones. I'll make them really fast. 1, if they're not paying their kids, they should consider paying their kids, because that can be non-taxable to the children and also an expense to the business. So there's another way. And of course, if the kids are under 18, then they control the income because they are, they're their guardian. So that's another quick opportunity. It all needs to be structured correctly. And the last 2 that I'll talk about, one is really, I mentioned it in the first part of the conversation, which is a lot of times people like to be charitable, and they'll give to their favorite philanthropic organization or their church, et cetera. And they'll do that towards the end of the year because they want a deduction, and they also want to give. But what if I could tell you I could help you give and actually profit from it? So that's one last thing that people can do in 2023, is they can actually acquire an asset, a tangible one, and donate it. And we have all this kind of turnkey for our clients, and essentially, purchase something for $1 and potentially get $1.50 or more in tax savings immediately. So that's really powerful. And then maybe for our next conversation in the future, we'll talk about how owning another business that's much more turnkey can be powerful, like solar, for example, because the federal government will give you tax credits, depreciation, and you can also earn cash flow from solar. So if you think about the real estate mindset, a lot of people like real estate because it offers cash flow and you can depreciate it. Solar's got an extra element: cash flow, depreciation, and a tax credit from the federal government. And there's only a 100-hour per year material participation requirement to take that depreciation and tax credit against any of your other income from W-2 or other businesses. Unlike real estate, as you might know, that you have to do 750 hours and other high hurdles to get over. So, solar is the new business for entrepreneurs and individuals that are looking to also help the federal government expand the renewable energy grid, which is essentially why they are giving the tax credit out.
Well, we have that on the book, so I definitely would love to have you back for that topic because that's so interesting. There's so much curiosity around that, and there's so much we don't know. So I really want to thank you for everything you shared, and also the kids one. That's very relatable to a lot of people, I think, as well as they're trying to teach their entrepreneurial skills or role modeling to their kids, right? Because we building legacy, and that's one of those things that I think. Helps us get a lot of fulfillment as purpose-driven entrepreneurs as well. So thank you so much for everything that you just shared. And I would love to ask you for your website, where is it that the audience can find more resources and all these amazing value adds that you just added with us and find out more information around you?
Absolutely. Just have them go to peakprofitsolutions.com. And that's just like the peak of the mountain, peakprofitsolutions.com. I have case studies. I have links to just schedule complimentary consultations. And it's really a nice starting point for people that are interested in learning more.
I'm definitely going to go check out your website, Mark. And Mark is also going to be part of our live school community. So you'll find him there and connect with him. I want to thank you for everything that you are doing out there in the world, helping people with this very important specific area. And thank you for everything you shared with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thank you also for watching. I will see you next time with another amazing guest and conversation. Bye, everybody. Looking for alignment between your purpose and your profit in your business. If you're experiencing these two main pain points in your business, lack of consistent cash flow and sales, and also lack of knowledge and strategy for scalability, then we must connect. I would love to schedule a call for a 30-minute free discovery session where I could see what you have built, meet you where you are in your phase and stage of growth, and also help you identify some of the gaps that you might be experiencing in your business, in the alignment of your purpose and profit, and also in really carrying forward that vision that you have for your company moving forward for your impact and also for your profit. Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call in the link below, as my calendar gets very full very fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.